Well, these guys are ready. It's game number 5. This will define our 4th regional champion of the day in the Collegiate Hearthstone Championships. It's going to be Leper Gnome in the opening hand for Santa Barbara. And for UC Berkeley, nothing in this hand really to indicate that it is either very aggressive or not very aggressive, rather than the lack of aggressive cards.
Maybe the Boom. Boom is a little bit top-heavy for the aggressive deck. But
I feel like they still run it quite a bit. I mean, that's a great just card when you're out of resources.
Well, you talk about innovating out powerful cards. I mean, Dr. Boom has to be the most powerful card in the game to innovate out. Like, if you get an early, like, say, like turn 4 Dr. Boom, that's almost unrecoverable for some people.
Yeah. Not the best hand for UCSB, though. They have the Leper Gnome, but they throw away a Force of Nature and get a Force of Nature back. So.
All right. Well, Cal needs to figure out what they want to keep, and Keeper of the Grove is not something that you want to maintain in the Druid mirrors, even though generally it's very powerful against aggro.
Saw his body. You see him shaking their heads.
They're nodding in approval.
Whoa!
That was way different than their original hand. They're like, yeah, we'll take it. Leper Gnome.
The natural predator of Knife Juggler.
And they're like, no, you had the one card that stops everything.
The natural predator of Knife Juggler.
The natural predator of Knife Juggler, Druid of the Saber.
Well, you can
in the first iteration of mounted Raptor.
I guess you could Druid of the Saber and wait, right? But
are there any merits to just hero powering here?
Coin hero power?
Oftentimes this matchup does come down to attrition. And so because of that, it's just whoever gets the first uncontested threat is the one that really comes out on top. And so, taking 3 damage here to clear this out, not the worst thing in the world, but I don't mind the development either. This does check future Knife Jugglers, make sure that their opponents just can't go crazy with minions, like Innervate Piloted Shredder here or something.
Right.
Innervate is going to end up being a really good pickup looking at their hand.
Yeah, I mean, this is just screaming to it has to be a Living Root's turn, right?
It feels like your best option because next turn you're going to be playing Druid of the Claw.
Yeah. But after that, you just hope to pick up the right 4 and 5 drops afterwards. I think you just curve out.
They're going to play it slow. I mean, this is their tournament lives here. This is whether or not they go to the live finals and secure quite a bit more prize money, or they go out here.
Yeah, I mean, this is the moment that you cannot afford to misstep anymore. You need to take your time and make sure you think through your plays.
Yeah, but Living Roots, pretty obvious choice there. Just hero powering on turn 2 is just way too weak.
Another Druid of the Saber. I mean, that is something that, again, you can load onto the board and just slightly build some board tension.
What's funny is that 2 Druids of the Saber will actually contest the Innervate Druid of the Claw as well.
Well, would they attack, like, with a Druid of the Saber attack here?
In this situation, it feels like kind of a no, because if you run into the Leper Gnome, that's just, that feels like an awful trade. If you run over the living, one of the saplings, they just use the other one, and then maybe they play their own mounted raptor on curve. A lot of things go wrong, I think, when you attack with this right now. To me, it looks like they want to set up a big swipe turn and hope that that's the swing they need to bring the game in their favor. You've set up stealth minions to even play around that, but they're going to attack right away.
I mean, they're still 2 turns from swipe. That's a lot of damage that they take if they just sit back on their heels and try and save that.
That's a good point.
That's a turn 4 play.
I'd say that's a fantastic draw, because that allows them to innervate this Druid of the Claw out and still feel comfortable about going into turn 4 with something to play.
Yeah, this is, the time is nigh. I think they're debating the charge. Like, is the charge ever worth it here? And then eventually going to conclude no. But
yeah,
again, this is the spot. Think about everything. Make sure you've checked every corner and left no stone unturned.
Mm-hmm. Where shall I strike?
Back over in Berkeley land, they have mounted a Raptor. 2 swipes. The Raptor should be able to withstand a little bit of pressure unless they get silenced. But I mean, look at Santa Barbara's hand outside this keeper. What are they going to do afterwards? They're going to really need some help. If they can capitalize on this initiative, that'd be really nice.
They're playing off of TJ's favorite part of the deck,
the top.
I think you'd play that keeper from the right side too. Kind of give them the impression that
you didn't have the answer, and now you do. I think, yeah. I mean, I think ultimately there's 50-50 psychology on that. Like, for every reason you can say that he doesn't have it, he does. But I do like it to make them mad.
Yeah, I mean,
like, oh, I drew it. Sorry.
I mean, this is certainly a spot where emotions could run very high.
Yeah. Build up tension.
given what's at stake. So that little edge could make a difference.
So do you you would silence, or do you shoot it with the
You silence.
Yeah, I like the silence more because you're going to use the Leopardome to take it down.
What if they got a Void Walker there? That could have been punished.
What if they get an injured Cavaldier out of that?
Yeah, I think you silence that all the time.
Man.
They just want to push though.
Whoa!
You're gonna get punished by swipe.
Well,
Is it a full punish?
no, it's not quite. I mean that Light Warden really isn't doing anything right now.
Yeah, if it was a 2-1 instead of a 1-2. Night and day difference. And Keeper plus Leopardome is still something.
Keepering a 1-2 feels pretty darn awful.
It's all about the body at this stage.
But it's also like stopping Savage Roar from being relevant. And at this point, it's like you said, it's very scrappy. It's the end. You can see that Savage Roar Force of Nature by itself is not going to be doing much. You definitely need Savage Roar to end it.
Force of Nature is likely, I think, to just be board clear here. You know, take a look at the way that Berkeley's hand's panning out. If they go Keeper of the Grove Leopardome here, Berkeley pretty much has to play Knife Jugglers just to try to take over the board, or maybe even Hero Power and then a Knife Juggler afterwards, like just using the Force of Nature as kind of like a pseudo Keeper of the Grove afterwards, I think would be totally
I don't
fine.
think you can even afford that. I think you just save it for Savage Roar. That looks like it's going to be the win condition. They are playing off the top, unless they draw big threats.
Keeper here.
It's looking like a swipe turn to me. Because then on turn 6, you have to follow up with Knife Juggler and the Keeper of the Grove.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely seems pretty strong. And then your opponent, well...
You're taking so much damage. You swipe this turn, you go down to 14. And you're down to 12 with the Keeper attack next turn.
No, I think I agree with Admirable, though. I think swipe has to come out here.
Yeah. Don't really have a choice.
Well, I mean, you do have choice, but I think it's the worst option to just let it go. And that is a very weak draw.
Still stuff.
It's stuff, but this is exactly what you want to see if you're Cal. Yeah. Now the Knife Jugglers. I mean, is there a world where you go for double Juggler and Darnassus instead? Because you just get back, you get 2 more Juggles?
I certainly think that there is one. But...
Well, I think Keeper is probably still better overall.
Oh, they're going for the Juggles. They want to have their minions on board be priority threats.
Oh, no.
Wow. Oh. Dude.
This
Knife
Force
Jugglers
of Nature is so good. It's just so good.
It's really good. However, initiative has gone to Cal.
Yeah.
Not quite yet. I mean, they are going to crack open this board.
Do you need Force of Nature to win the game is the question.
What happens if you just push and play the Shredder?
Okay, so you push 4 damage with Hero Power. You bring them down to 7.
They have to Hero Power every turn for the rest of the game after that.
Yeah, I'd like just holding on to Force of Nature as that card.
No!
The Jugglers?
The trade!
Whoa! No. They don't trust the Jugglers.
I'm
Well, at this point, they're clearly clearing out both the Jugglers, but this is
physically pained.
This is still a tough situation.
Protects the Shredder, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a tough situation for Berkeley. I mean, they're not out of the water just yet. They don't have a way to contest this without taking extra damage.
Well, they can keep her down the Shredder and then deal with the ramifications afterwards.
Yeah, they go to 8 after they... Oh, gosh, this is...
I think it's actually safer to keep her this down than to Hero Power it down. And just live with the consequences.
Of whatever comes out.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, what if a Millhouse came out of it?
Or a one-eyed cheat.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, no. Lose a tournament to a one-eyed cheat.
That's how I always lose
At the
tournaments.
finish line, nonetheless.
They need to play the minions. They need to play both of them first if they're going to go with that trade option, by the way.
Right.
Because the Aspirant will kill one of their mana crystals.
Yes, very good point. And, I mean, the swing on the Shredder of what comes one way or the other, like if it's Lore Walker Joe all the way to Millhouse, is such a big difference.
Yeah. This
Here we go.
Shredder is likely to decide the game. Wow, they're not even going to kill it.
They're going to Hero Power it, which means right now, UCSB is 1 damage off lethal.
Can they draw anything that's going to give them that 1 damage?
Yeah. Ascending Roots.
Oh!
Druid of the Saber is going to end it.
That's enough.
University of California, Santa Barbara is going to take game number 5.
That's exactly enough. 2 damage. They need 12 exact damage. They can't fit in hero power. That is crazy.
They crown themselves the Western Regional Championships and secure themselves a spot in that championship final.
What a journey for these guys. All the way from Santa Barbara. They're going to be going to the finals at the end of January.
Yeah.
And now they are the Western champions. And look at them celebrating a moment of rapture. They've made it through the Western bracket. Over 200 teams competed. And they are the champions.
Berkeley just kind of